Hey, what's happening, y'all? It's me coming back at you again with another vid. So Joseph Parker defeats Raz Cojanu in a 12-round unanimous decision. Well, all I can say is two things. One, I gave Parker every single round. Two, this was it was a funny and entertaining sparring session. What I mean by that is that it was not entertaining as far as explosion, whatnot, because there wasn't any explosion in this fight. Even though Parker, Joseph was pressing the action, he was, letting his hands go, throwing quick combinations, which I have to say, I said this once and I said it again. I'll say it again. Joseph Parker is probably the best combination puncher at heavyweight. Unbelievable hand speed, unbelievable. Now, he's getting a lot of flack for this performance. I've noticed that in the comment section. Of course, the commentary from Sky Sports, they're saying, look, man, they're pretty much saying you're the world heavyweight champion, and this is the best you can do in your first title defense. I mean, this is a guy, Raz Cojanu, who came into the fight overweight, not in shape. He didn't come here to win. He was just not letting his hands go. He was just clowning Joseph Parker the entire fight, making, gestures and taunting him and trash talked him every time he was getting hit with those combinations, whatnot. So, they said this is not good enough if you're going to go up against the likes of Joseph Parker, Deontay Wilder, or even a Vladimir Klitschko, Dillian White when his name got dragged into this, and Tony Bellew and so forth. So they're trying to make it seem as they also went on to say that if this was Anthony Joshua or Vladimir Klitschko in there against Cojanu, they would have gotten him out of there within less than 3 rounds or 4 or 5 rounds. Well, here's the one thing I have to say about that. I mean, that could be the case, yeah, but you have to also take other things into account. One, Cojanu has sparred with Joseph Parker in the past on numerous occasions, okay? So he knows what he can do. And two, this also takes me back to, of course, history. And most of you guys don't like the fact that I always have to dwell back into history now. This reminds me of Evander Holyfield's first run as the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Okay, and when he knocked out Buster Douglas, yes, people commend him for that win, but at the same time, some people kind of trying to undermine it and say, well, that Douglas was he was unmotivated, he was not motivated, he wasn't in shape, blah blah blah. And then when Evander made a couple title defenses against the likes of Larry Holmes and George Foreman, and he got a lot of flack and criticism for those performances, because they're saying, look, you're the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, you're your prime. I mean, you're young, you're fast, you're powerful and quick. You couldn't knock out 2 heavyweights that are not, who are not even at their best, who are past their best. Well, here's the thing I got to say about that. All right, because a lot of people are wondering, why do I give Evander credit for those wins? Let me tell you something. George Foreman only got knocked out once in his career. When he was fighting younger guys like Evander Holyfield, they couldn't knock him out. They couldn't even knock this guy out. I mean, this dude had a granite chin. All right, the reason why he got knocked out against Muhammad Ali, because one, he was intimidated mentally by Ali. Two, he kind of punched himself out during that fight. Okay, because he spent so much energy trying to knock out Ali, and that he admitted, and he, to his own admission, had said that when Ali took his best punches that he normally got a lot of guys out with, it psyched him out because he didn't know what to do after that. So, and this is the same man who won the world title 2 decades apart, who knocked out Michael Moore, who's the same guy who beat Evander Holyfield for the unified titles. So what does that tell you? Okay. And Larry Holmes was also the same guy who also got knocked out once in his career against a prime Mike Tyson, who the same Larry Holmes beat a prime Ray Mercer, took his undefeated record away. Okay. So I remember Evander getting criticism for that, for those 2 wins against Holmes and Foreman. Okay. And Evander also got criticized for his performance against Burt Cooper. Now, the way this story goes is that Burt Cooper was a last-minute replacement due to the fact that Evander had 2 fights that fell through. After he beat Foreman, he was immediately set up for a showdown with Mike Tyson the first time until Tyson got caught up with his with his rape case, whatnot. That fight had to be canceled, and then he was scheduled to fight Francisco Damani for the unification for his undisputed title and for the WBO title. I think the I think that fight was sanctioned also for the WBO title to be on the line. So Damani pulled out the very last minute due to a foot injury, and that's where Burt Cooper came in and whatnot. And the WBC couldn't sanction the fight because Cooper was not even ranked in their he wasn't ranked in their sanctioning body. So nonetheless, Cooper almost knocked out Holyfield. Okay, and Evander had to battle back in that fight because he was getting hurt by Cooper many times, and yeah, he got him out of there and whatnot, but yeah, he still got flack for that performance. So here's the thing: I'm not saying that Joseph Parker is Evander Holyfield. I mean, he could potentially go that route based off the criticism he's getting from his win for his performance against Cojanu. All I'm saying is that just don't underestimate a heavyweight, a guy who has a belt at heavyweight. Okay. Just don't underestimate Joseph Parker, okay? Because what I'm seeing is that he's improving his performance even after the Andy Ruiz fight. Is that he's trying to fight more in spurts rather than trying to burn his energy and get opponents out of there. So I guess this is probably what he was trying to do. But at the same time, yes, this is a last-minute replacement. You should have knocked him out when you had him in trouble on some occasions. But again, this is his sparring partner, and Cojanu knew exactly what Joseph could do. So he already knew what his what his attribute skills and his attributes were and so forth. So yeah, and the thing about Cojanu, he didn't really try, man. He just came in here and collected the paycheck. Although the last few seconds of the fight was probably the most entertaining part of the fight, where they were all duking it out and Joseph was trying to knock him out. So yeah, where do you see Joseph goes from here? I mean, I know this is his last fight in New Zealand, so he might be heading to the UK. What do you think his chances of getting to the white and others? Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm out.